let everybody know that you're recording when they come in. Oh, Kodar.
Okay, I'm gonna, when you guys need me, call me.
Okay.
Sounds good, Cody.
You're on slide 5. So is everybody in, Cody?
Yes.
Okay, I'll say hello first. Hello, everyone. Welcome to Raleigh Sister Cities membership info session. This is our first one this year, and we're very happy that you joined us. And Charles, I'm on the Raleigh Sister Cities board, and I want Charles to say hello as well.
Hey, everybody. Thank you so much for joining us today. My name is Charles Helms, and I'm actually a newer face to Sister Cities here in Raleigh. So a little bit of what you're learning today is stuff that I've just learned as well in the past couple of months. But I'm excited to see some faces, and you might interact with me in the future. I do some sort of admin support for Sister Cities in the sort of community relations department.
Thanks, Charles. Second slide.
Yeah.
So what is Raleigh Sister Cities? I hope most of you on the meeting today have heard of us. We are a 501c3 nonprofit organization established in 1986. We celebrate global cultures through long-term partnerships and programs with city-to-city and person-to-person diplomacy. Raleigh is a member of Sister Cities International, which was started in 1956 by President Dwight D. Eisenhower to promote friendly relations between citizens of the United States and similar foreign countries. Sometimes you might even hear the term that we're twin cities, but it's Sister Cities is who we are members of. In the early 80s, then Mayor Pro Tem Ed Walters attended a League of Cities conference, and when he came back, he talked with the city council about participating in some international relationships. And the first thing that they did was establish the International Festival, which still happens today.
Excellent. And
yeah, there you go.
Yeah, and Pat, I'll talk a little bit about this. I'm curious, just for everybody that is here. Hopefully, you all can see my screen well enough. But what we've just put up is a slide with all of our current sister cities. I won't steal the thunder for what's coming up next, but we have a few new relationships kind of in the works right now. But as far as our current relationships, we've got Hull, Compiègne, Rostock, Nairobi, and Gibraltar. And just a quick question to anybody who might want to come off mute. Does anybody have any connection or knowledge set just about any of the sister cities we already have partnerships with? I'm seeing Carol shake her head.
Yeah, and I see Gretchen Chapman on the call. Gretchen helped start the Compiègne relationship and has stayed with it for 30 years. So thanks, Gretchen. Good to see. Glad you joined us today.
Yeah, absolutely. And the other kind of thing that I was just looking through, as I've been learning about our different partnerships, some of them are longer lived than my own life itself. So it's exciting to understand just sort of what historic kind of roots some of these relationships have, and some of the growth that's coming in right now.
Funny that you say that, Charles. I was around when Sister City started, and in 1989, I actually got to go to Compiègne with Theater in the Park. They took the Christmas Carol over there, and it was a fabulous, fabulous trip. And we were just treated like royalty and got to visit the city and visit other places around. And it was just an incredible trip. And since I've been on the board, I've been fortunate enough to visit Rostock and Hull, England, and I'll be happy to share some of those stories later if we have time.
I'd love to hear a few of them. But yeah, you can go ahead and take this one, Pat.
Okay, so really more recently, and we need to thank Cody, who's going to talk to us here in a little bit, been very active at meeting with folks in the community. And so at our last board meeting, we had presentations from 3 cities that would like to partner with us, and they are Rio Negro, Colombia, which is in the northern part of Colombia. It's north of Medellin. Syr, Lebanon. There's a huge Lebanese community in Raleigh that's been around for a very long time, and they're very active. In fact, they had a festival last weekend or the weekend prior, and some of us attended, and it was a fun event. Syr is also in the northern part of Lebanon, not too far from the Syrian border. And then Guadalajara, Mexico. We've been working and talking with the Mexican consulate here in Raleigh for a number of years and talking about different sister cities. And I'm sure Cody will share the story about Guadalajara. We think it's going to be a fabulous relationship. And if anybody is in, so sister cities start by, they just kind of bubble up. If you have a community or a committee in like Raleigh that has relationships with a city somewhere in the world, and they form a committee, they can bring the idea to us. But the key to this is that you have to have a like volunteer committee in your sister city so that you have kind of a connection to work together. So we've got on our website a document on how to start a sister city if anybody is maybe interested in doing something like that in the future. Next. Cody, take it away.
Oh, you guys give me the hard stuff. I don't get any pictures on my slides.
You can click on the link and they can look at all of our pretty pictures on the website.
Your slides were more fun than these. You give me the hard stuff. So we said this before, and Raleigh Sister Cities is a 501c3 nonprofit. So we're all volunteer. This is the structure of who we are. And really it comes down to interfacing for City Hall. I know Raleigh doesn't really use that language so much. We have a city manager led city. And so Marshall Adams David and Marianne Baldwin, between them, they run things in the city. Between both of their responsibilities, everything comes to their desk for signatures, and that includes sister city agreements. So all these people work and look up to those 2 wonderful people. And they are both, let's see, fun facts about Marianne. She was a city council member before she became mayor and is a friend of Sister Cities, and also just got a new job with First Tee in Raleigh. So she works as a nonprofit fundraiser as well. And then Marshall Adams David, she is not only the first female city manager in the city of Raleigh's history, but the first person of color as well. So pretty significant, and they're trailblazers in both their own right. Our city council liaison is Jonathan Melton. So Jonathan helps us with agreements and getting things to their desk and helps us make policy decisions and represents Raleigh on the international stage. And then we're also underneath the Historic Resources and Museums program of the Parks and Recreation and Cultural Resources Division of the city of Raleigh. So we are friends with many people in high places. But again, I think the most important thing from this page is we're all volunteers. We love doing this, and we're doing it out of the goodness of our hearts for the city of Raleigh and the world. Let's see what the next slide says. Okay, even more fun stuff. I'm sorry about no pictures. Next time we'll do something really fun here. We went through a strategic plan during the pandemic and really re-envisioned and revalued and researched what we were doing as an organization. So we simplified a lot. Our hope and what we want to see in the world is that we're able to connect the world to Raleigh through these global relationships that we have with sister cities. Our mission, we just really want to celebrate global cultures. And if you go to our website, which is how you got here, you'll see that as the very first thing is that we want to do that in Raleigh is celebrate global cultures. And we kind of want to be the best people at it and support other people who are doing that as well. Then we have 4 values. Everything we do, it always comes back to global citizenship, integrity, celebration, and collaboration. So we want to be good partners. We want to be happy about it. We want to do it authentically and ethically. And then we also want to be able to share this concept of being renowned and familiar with all the cultures in the world that we can offer. And then let's see, next slide. Oh, fun stuff. Okay, so we're really excited about April 20th. We're really thankful to David Meeker and Trophy for letting us come do an event at Young Hearts Distillery. It is on South Wilmington Street downtown. And if you haven't been there, it was formerly the Busy Bee Cafe, and then it was a Trophy restaurant. So they just redid their whole menu and concept a few months ago. They are donating all of the food and drink for that evening. So 100% of the proceeds, what people contribute, is going to go to Ukrainian refugees in Rostock. That's our German sister city, and they're hosting a settlement there out of the conflict. Soon to the website, a few other things. We'll do a bike ride on May 1st. Our big annual meeting is going to be on June 1st, and then we're going to go to a different Trophy location and have a beer afterwards. And then a lot of people are going to have a lot of beer on June 4th for Queen Elizabeth and her celebration for the Jubilee anniversary. So one of the things I learned about before I came on with Sister Cities is that they partied a lot, but they party with a purpose. So we like to have fun. There's got to be a reason behind it, and there's got to be good that comes out of it. So I hope you see that through all this, and especially the bike rides. I imagine there's a beer on that bike ride, or at least at the end of it.
At the end of it.
Right. Not during. Don't drink and ride.
So Charles and I will, why membership? As I mentioned, I've known about Sister City since it became in 1986. And actually, I was on a bike ride with a past president of Raleigh Sister Cities, who's a friend of mine, who called me up and got me involved in the 30th anniversary celebration for Sister Cities. And once you volunteer and you get more involved, which is a great way to learn more, then you get invited on the board. So I've been on the board since 2017, and I'll tell you, it's the friendships that have grown, and I just meet some incredible people and have done some really fun things here in Raleigh, a lot of our events, and it's just been really kind of neat. And we have met people from all over the world. There was a group of folks from Nairobi that came a few years ago, and to meet them, they were trying to learn about some infrastructure things in cities on their visit here. So it's all, there's a lot of different things, and it's just really fun, as Cody said.
Yeah, and I'll add that onto that, Pat, that even just kind of in the few months that I've been involved, already meeting people who are volunteering with us, who are part of the board, that are associated with our sister cities. Like, I just can already tell that my personal network within Raleigh has just been enriched with people from across the globe who I think if I had not been involved with Sister Cities, I'm not sure exactly where our paths would have come together. It's possible. Raleigh's not the biggest city in the world, but like it really met that goal for me of just like helping me meet new folks that are in Raleigh and then connect it out to the rest of the world. And you can kind of see some of the details here about options for joining as far as membership goes. And I think that the thing that is just constantly on my mind too is we are sort of continuing to dive forward in understanding the world in the context of the pandemic, and like getting events off the ground again is like all of this effort as far as like membership funding is what enables our ambassadors to really like execute all these really fun things and like bring groups together. And I'm just really excited about what's to come this year. Just as a tidbit from some of our planning meetings we've had over the last few weeks, there's a lot of ideas that our ambassadors have. And I think there's going to be an explosion on that calendar of events as far as what is going to be available to you as like a member of Sister Cities. Anything else you'd add, Cody?
No, that's really good. I think that's really helpful for me to hear from both of you about, the heart and purpose behind it. I always am fascinated by what people know about Sister Cities beforehand. Everyone kind of has an idea, and explaining it fits and checks a lot of the boxes I think a lot of people have about being connected and knowing their community. And I think as Raleigh is growing, we're trying to adapt and create a global space through a community that shows the diversity of Raleigh. With that, there's so much cool stuff that's potentially happening and behind the scenes that I get really excited. I wish I could share more about, like, oh man, this would be really cool. But I'm really proud about what's on the calendar right now and all the things that are happening. It's really, I feel privileged to be a part of it, and I feel really like I'm proud to be on the team. Kind of like being like a state women's basketball fan, or a UNC men's basketball fan, or what's that other team that's around?
Oh, the Dukies.
Yeah, I think, it's like everything's getting better. And I think especially as we recover from the pandemic, we're growing these connections again.
And it's very easy to join on our website. And we really wanted to make it very easy for folks to do, and very, we think, fairly affordable for anybody who would want to join. And before we get into Q&A, Cody, I'd like to, Kodar is on the call, and he actually did the presentation for SEER, and maybe he could talk for like, a couple minutes about his experience in part of the process.
She's putting you on the spot. I'm sorry.
It's okay. Thank you for having me. Actually, the process was, for me, my experience was a lot smoother and quicker than I thought. I thought this will take, months and probably a year before I hear back. And it was really quick. Cody and I connected, and I supplied the information he needed. So it was really, really quick. And if I forget to send stuff, he's always, reminding me. So it was really, really good. It was a lot of collaboration. That's what I was expecting. But the team works really well together, and I like that. So it's part of the mission and vision statement that it's about collaboration. It's about integrity. And I found that, and that's really remarkable. I have introduced the idea to a friend of mine from Alexandria, Egypt, and he wants to join. He lives in Raleigh. He got his PhD from Virginia Tech. So he asked me he liked my PowerPoint that I put together. Well, I didn't, I got help.
I know, God, I was going to say your daughter, you made your daughter do it.
Right. Well, other
job.
people helped me, but anyway, thank you guys for your help. So he's interested, he's excited. He's already talking to some people in Alexandria to be on his committee like I did. I kind of gave him kind of a tricks the way I did it. So I had everything, like all my ducks in order. And when I started, talking with Cody, it was really smooth. The other side completely on board. The mayor is aware of it. The city attorney is aware. Actually, there are two city attorneys, and so both the three of them are involved. My wife, who served on the city council of SEER, she's excited. And she did all the kind of tied all the loose ends on in Lebanon for me, which made it really, really easy. And I'm trying to help my Egyptian friend do the same thing. And Alexandria is beautiful. Big, huge Egyptian community in Raleigh or North Carolina, but not as active as the Lebanese community, because Lebanese like to party and drink a lot. I don't drink really, but they exist. They have 3-4 clubs that do certain things, fun things every year. So I think I'm gonna push for it to sell the idea to other sister cities to grow, of course, in collaboration and cooperation, because these communities live in Raleigh, that have roots in Raleigh. They've been here for a long time. So I mean, with next 3, 4, 5 years, possibly we're gonna have a lot more cities participating. That's my take.
That's awesome, Kodar. We look forward to your partnership with us. We like to keep our meetings to the 30 minutes that we have allotted for this. And there's some folks on here. If you have questions for any one of us, we will take the next few minutes to answer those for you. And Carol?
2 questions. How do you interact with the organizations in your sister cities?
Okay, our ambassadors are connected to the cities, and they have the volunteer committee in the other city, and they're all very different. And Cody may talk to this a little bit more, but for example, Rostock, they have a staff person in their city government that is our main contact. And so our Rostock ambassador, who is Bill Borden, that's their connection. And if some bubbles, pop up, on our trip to Rostock in 2017, we met with the university, and there's some openings there for some collaborative work. And it's really kind of person to person. And we're actually kind of working on a little bit more formal tracking of this. And Cody, do you want to talk a little bit more about that?
Yeah, sure. Hey, Carol, thanks for being here. Yeah, it's different for every city. I think, we are not picky about who is the representative on site within the sister city, but we just want them to be active as much as we are representing, say, a place like Sear. We want Raleigh to be represented too. And we're glad to support that and share that culture with the on-site sister city. I know they're all different. Within Gibraltar, for example, they have an American Chamber of Commerce that partners with us. That's a different group. Within Rio Negro, we have another government contact. And then I know in Hull, it's citizens. It's just caring citizens who help start this. So it's different everywhere about on-site who's receiving the relationship.
So, I mean, when you're having these conversations, what I'm trying to figure out, are they political? Are they seeking help? Are they looking for hosts to have somebody stay at their home? I'm just trying to figure.
Sure. Yeah. And I think that's the beautiful thing about Gretchen being here. I think Gretchen has seen, 35 plus years of sister cities relationships where they have looked for help from Raleigh. And for example, that's part of our fundraiser for Rostock and the Ukrainian settlement. We're offering help. They didn't ask for it, but we recognize, hey, this is something we can connect and contribute to. No problem. I do know that the agreement is like the critical piece of the sister city relationship. It has to outline the parameters of what you're doing. And so we started using a standardized agreement, and we've actually shared it with other sister city programs because it works fairly well. It seems to check all the boxes, not overpromise. It helps you or under deliver. It helps you give a realistic set of expectations of what to come from that relationship. And certainly that's something we look to use more and more because it's been so successful so far.
Right, and it's the final agreement is signed by the mayors of each city.
Yeah. Good question, Carol.
I'm excited. I've been hearing about sister cities since I was in high school, so it's time.
Yeah.
Oh, wow, great.
Yeah, I wish I'd known about it in high school. I think I would have maybe walked a straighter path, But here we are. Other questions?
Nope.
Robin or Pat, I see on the. If you're being shy, that's fine.
And I'm not trying to rush anybody by putting up our contact information, but just
Yes.
know that if you do think of a question later, you've got some avenues to get this. And all this is on the website as well.
Okay, I have one more question. So you have board meetings. Do you have ambassador meetings with the rest of the members, or do they work separately from the rest of the members, or do they just discuss things at the social events?
Yeah, so the ambassadors, we have them working together as a team. Currently, I think during the pandemic, we huddled together, and that's ongoing now, is that we try to look at all of them as the same team, but playing different positions and different purposes. So they help one another, help coordinate, help plan, help support. And we really try to build like a global community. I think that was one of the constructive things during the pandemic was, hey, a lot of the global information and connections were being totally disrupted, but guess what? In Raleigh, we could come together and really start working together and planning together. So we've kept that going. They all work together. There will be 9 ambassadors total. Guadalajara is so big, it's 5 million people. We decided, hey, we need 2 ambassadors for that relationship. Where Cotter, I think, could do Sear with the arm behind his back. You know, he knows it so well and has so many connections there. His wife was the former mayor. Is that right, Cotter?
That's right.
So he's got like this is an easy lift for him. But you know, I think that was where a lot of the other, we found a lot of support and working together, and it seems to be successful to keep those ambassadors meeting together and acting as a team.
Sure. And when the ambassadors plan events, whether it's one city or combined cities, they're always looking for volunteers. As I said, that's how I got involved. And, you know, always need help, you know, putting on events. So, and that's a great way to connect and get to know folks as well. Pat, did you have a question? You're muted.
No, I don't have any questions. I've been members for several years, recruited by Gretchen, so I'm good. Thank you.
Okay, that's great. Thank you. Yeah. Okay. Well, as Charles said, please feel free to contact any one of us. And our new website that, you know, kudos to Cody, pulled this together, and it's beautiful, and it's got a lot of information on it. And we love our new look and our new outreach.
Hey, Charles. Thank you, Pat. Thank you both for doing this. And you got our information, please email us. We'd love to hear what you have to say and questions you have and get you involved. You know, it's all about like getting people included and getting people participating. So this is it.
Yeah, and hopefully we'll see you at one of our events soon.
Right. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you all.
Thanks, everyone.
Bye.
Good night.